Hello everyone! Yes, it is Mixing Wednesday, and unfortunately, due to having several IT issues today, there is only going to be one video today. So, Acoustica have released the Diamond Transient. Roll that VT. So, Acoustica Audio, again, they always do hardware emulations and they're probably the best at it. They have emulated the DBX 3BX. So I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's late 70s, but it came in the 70s anyway. So already set up, fine-tuned to the exact specifications of Luca Pretolesi's outboard gear. So the way that Luca Pretolesi has it set up, I don't know if it's in his mastering chain or on his mix bus chain, I don't know. So Luca Pretolesi, right, if you might be asking, right, why do I care what Luca Pretolesi has on his outboard gear? Why? I'll tell you why. Because if you liked the Better Maker video, that was based off his Better Maker hardware, and he worked very hard with Plugin Alliance for the presets as well. Luca has worked with some amazing artists again, and in loads and loads of different genres as well, which is really interesting. So a really incredibly well respected engineer, and this guy is just, anything he touches plugin wise or has an input in, it is just amazing. So right, without further ado, let's hear it on a mix bus. Let's hear how good this thing is. And this is a mix that I did a couple of months ago. It was produced like a pro session. I think the band were called We Came From Astronauts. I think the song's called Golden. So let's hear what this adds to an already mixed track. It is a massive difference. It's huge. So what I'll do is I'll play probably half the song. I'll do it from the start, play half the song, and I'll just bring it in and out so you could hear what it's doing. And again, I've brought the output down just a smidge, just so again everything is matching integral LUFS. So this is perfectly level matched. So let's hear what the Diamond adds in the Luca Pretolesi setup without changing anything, just the output. Let's hear what this does to an overall mix. So that was quite interesting, was it? I always say that. I don't know why I always start my outros with that, but yes, it was very interesting. In terms of the sound of it, right, and just in terms of a final opinion, I would say it is not for everybody. I think the Better Maker is for everybody, right? The Better Maker is just like bang, bang, bang. You like Pultex, everybody likes Pultex, and it's just amazing. This is something that you have to mix into, in my opinion. If you're going to stick it on your mix bus, you have to mix into it, because if you want to listen to that part again, right, there's a guitar in the mix, right, that I did, the We Came From Astronauts mix, where there's a guitar and I'll lose it. So again, if I was to mix into that, that guitar would come back in again, and it completely unbalances the track. Why does it unbalance the track? Because it's an expander, right? So that's what it's doing. It's focusing on the transients of the track and it's bringing all that up. And again, what's it doing? It's limiting kind of everything else. The opposite of compression. But again, think about compression. Compression squeezes everything together, right? So your lows become your highs and your highs become your lows, and they kind of meet in the middle dependent on how much you compress. With an expander, it's the opposite. It is an expander, it expands the dynamic range. So it's lowering everything else and bringing up the transients. So in the mix, I did like what it did in the mix. In the clarity and the highs is unbelievable. It's kind of when you kind of go, no, like I really like this mix. Yeah, the highs are really nice. And then you've just got a plugin that just goes,
yeah, by the way, see your high end wasn't good enough.
but you've got to be very wary of it. That's what I will say. There's a separation, which is what the expander does. I think that's the way I would think about an expander, just my opinion, is it creates separation. Right? It creates separation so the transients stick out, so you lose the room. But in a mix, I think it works a lot better and it's more efficient and you get better results out of it. In terms of the low end, don't know if I like it in the lows, but overall in a mix, here's the thing, right? Would you trust me or would you trust Luca Pretolesi? I'd trust Luca Pretolesi, so to me I'm kind of going, no, what, let's just trust Luca, because guess what, Luca is more experienced than I am, so I'd probably say that's kind of the low end that you're probably looking for, tighter low end, and it probably would, because I do hear it's like a bump in like maybe more the low mids, maybe high, it's definitely higher than 100 hertz anyway. I don't think there's a plugin out there that's anything like it. In terms of like subtlety, it's not subtle. It comes out the box, you can tweak it. ACUSTICA say you're really just meant to use the transition knob, and then again I did hit the transition fader a little bit harder on the kick and snare bus to kind of bring out the kick and snare a little bit more. But I do think it's a really cool plugin. It's not for everybody. I'm going to say that it's not for everybody. I like it. I think that maybe for me it maybe fine tune the highs a little bit. You can click the fine tune button and maybe just bring down the transient of the highs a little bit. But then you're probably losing that crispness that you get in the high end. Again, I would trust Luca, but again, if you're a lot more experienced than I am, then again, you've got your own taste, you've got your own preferences. You might go, it's not for me. So again, it's not for everybody, but for what it does as an expander, I think it is brilliant. I would say I now understand what an expander does when I listen to this. I'm like, yes, want to know what expander is? There you go. That's what an expander does. So to wrap up, it's a very good plugin. Again, Luca Pretolesi. Another chef kiss for you, right? So again, if you like this video, like and subscribe. Subscribe, the most important thing, because if you get subscribed, then you can be updated, and if you click the wee bell button as well, then you could be updated and notified when I release every Mix on Wednesday video. Okay, so Mix on Wednesdays, next Wednesday, I'll see you again.